Have you ever noticed that something once simple and satisfying now feels mechanical, rushed, or even a little frustrating? You're not alone. As men age, our bodies and minds change in ways few people prepare us for. What worked at 30 doesn't always feel the same at 65. Yet many of us carry the same private habits into later life, never questioning if they still serve us. One of those habits? Masturbation. It's a word most men don't say out loud, but it remains a natural, vital part of our well-being. Here's the truth. Self-pleasure after 60 isn't just normal. It can support better sleep, hormone regulation, emotional calm, even prostate health, but only if it's done mindfully. The problem? Many men unknowingly repeat the same mistakes, shaped by old routines, outdated myths, and silence around the subject. In this video, we'll break down 7 common mistakes older men make around self-pleasure, and more importantly, how to shift toward a healthier, more fulfilling approach. It's not about performance, it's about connection with your body, your breath, and your sense of self. Let's begin. There's a myth that's gained traction in recent years, one that says holding back ejaculation builds power, energy, or masculinity. And while the idea might sound noble, especially as we age, the science and lived experience tells a different story. Short breaks from ejaculation may have temporary effects on testosterone, but prolonged retention can actually backfire for men over 60. Why? Because your body was designed for healthy release. When that natural rhythm is suppressed too long, it can lead to pelvic discomfort or congestion, mood swings and irritability, higher risk of prostate complications. What's more, it can disconnect you from your own needs. You may feel proud for showing control, but inside, frustration builds. Not physical strength, emotional pressure. Doctors agree, moderate, mindful ejaculation supports hormone balance, sleep quality, and even immune health. Think of it this way. Just like stretching keeps your muscles mobile, healthy release keeps your system flowing. Letting go isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Honoring how your body communicates and meeting it with respect. If you've been practicing long-term retention, ask yourself, is this really making me stronger or simply tenser? What you may need isn't more control, but more permission to listen to your body as it changes. We're creatures of habit, especially when it comes to private routines. And for many men, self-pleasure has followed the exact same pattern for decades. Same grip, same rhythm, same pressure, same end goal. But here's the problem. The body adapts. When stimulation becomes predictable, the nervous system starts to tune it out. Over time, this can lead to reduced sensitivity, difficulty climaxing with a partner, and even a sense of emotional disconnection from the act itself. It's not that you're broken, it's that you're out of sync with how your body has changed. The solution isn't drastic, it's curious. Try switching hands, lighten the pressure, explore slower rhythms. Even adding a new angle, texture, or movement can wake up your senses again. Think of it like working out. If you did the same bicep curl every day for 30 years, you wouldn't grow, you'd plateau. Your pleasure works the same way. By introducing small variations, you engage different nerves, keep your mind present, and invite deeper, more satisfying sensations. It's not about novelty for novelty's sake. It's about staying in conversation with your body, not just repeating what it used to like. Because the man you are today is different than the man you were at 35. And that's a good thing. When we were younger, speed was survival. Whether it was privacy, shame, or just teenage urgency, many of us learned to finish fast. But what began as a habit has quietly become a limitation. Today, that BH rush can leave you feeling disconnected, unsatisfied, or like you missed something important. Here's the truth. When you move too fast, your body doesn't have time to build arousal in a meaningful way. Your mind stays distracted. You skip over sensation and settle for release. And the result? Moments that could bring grounding or relief. Instead, feel mechanical. even empty. The fix isn't complex. It's slowing down. Lighten your touch. Breathe deeper and notice where sensation builds naturally. Focus on the journey. Journey, not the finish line. You may discover something unexpected. Pleasure lives in the pace. When you stop racing, you give your body time to awaken. You give your mind time to soften. And you begin to feel more whole, more humans in the process. This isn't about taking longer for performance. It's about giving yourself permission to be present, to treat your body like something worthy of care, not just function. Because after 60, every quiet moment with yourself is a chance, not just to release, but to reconnect. For years, maybe decades, you may have treated self-pleasure as a single-point experience, all focus, one area, one goal. It worked, it was efficient. But here's what you may not realize. Your body is an entire map of sensation, and by only stimulating one place, you're missing out on some of the most powerful feelings available to you, especially now. As we age, sensitivity in the genitals may naturally decrease, but other areas become more important, even more responsive, if you take the time to include them. Try this: light pressure on the inner thighs, gentle massage over the chest or abdomen, tracing circles around the hips, shoulders, or neck. Focus on the perineum, the area between the scrotum and anus, which is rich in nerve endings and deeply connected to arousal. Engaging more of your body increases circulation, awakens your nervous system, brings emotional depth to the experience. This isn't about trying something weird. It's about reclaiming the rest of your body and recognizing that pleasure can come from many places. You're not just a machine built for output. You're a human being capable of layered, expansive sensation at any age. So take the time to explore. No expectations, no agenda, just curiosity, breath, and the question, what else feels good when I actually listen? For many men, lubrication was never part of the equation. Maybe it felt unnecessary. Maybe no one ever talked about it. Maybe you thought using it meant something was wrong. But here's the truth. As you age, natural moisture decreases and friction increases. What used to feel fine can suddenly feel uncomfortable, even irritating. And over time, that friction can cause microscopic skin damage, reduced sensitivity, lingering discomfort after the fact. That's not pleasure. That's punishment. The solution: simple. Use lube. A good, skin-safe lubricant restores glide, enhances sensation, reduces effort, and even helps awaken nerve endings that have gone a little quiet. Especially if you have joint stiffness or limited mobility, lubrication helps make the entire experience easier, smoother, and more enjoyable. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. Just like you wear glasses to read or supportive shoes to walk, using lubrication is a way to honor your body's needs with care. And once you try it, you may wonder why you waited so long. You deserve comfort, you deserve sensation, and you deserve tools that elevate your experience, not limit it. Because pleasure isn't about toughing it out, it's about letting it in, and that starts with being gentle. For many men, the messages we received about self-pleasure weren't kind. Maybe it was called selfish, dirty, something to hide. Maybe you were never told anything at all, just left to figure it out in silence. And that silence, that often turns into shame that stays buried for decades. Even now, you might still feel a twinge of guilt afterward, a need to rush and finish quickly, or a reluctance to talk about it, even with your doctor or partner. Here's the problem. Shame disconnects you from your own body. It turns a moment of care into a moment of secrecy, and it chips away at your confidence, slowly, quietly over time. But here's the truth. There's nothing shameful about taking time for yourself. When approached mindfully, self-pleasure becomes a tool for emotional regulation, a path to better sleep, mood, and focus. and a powerful form of self-respect. You've lived a full life. You've earned wisdom, perspective, and dignity. There is nothing less than about honoring your body's needs. Letting go of shame doesn't happen overnight, but it begins when you challenge where those old beliefs came from. Were they your truth or someone else's fear? You deserve to feel peace, presence, and pride in the way you care for yourself. Because this isn't about indulgence, it's about well-being. And it's never too late to rewrite the story you tell yourself, especially in the quietest, most personal moments. Let's face it, your body at 65 isn't the same as it was at 35. That's not failure, that's biology. Yet too many men keep trying to engage in self-pleasure the exact same way they always have, without ever asking, could this be easier? Could this feel better? The truth is, there are now smart, discreet tools designed specifically to support men in their later years, and choosing not to explore them out of pride, discomfort, or habit. That's a mistake, one that could be holding you back from greater pleasure and ease. These tools include soft silicone sleeves that mimic natural sensation, ergonomic designs that reduce hand strain and support joint mobility, gentle massagers that stimulate areas you may have overlooked. They're not about replacing your touch, they're about enhancing your connection to your body in a way that fits where you are now. Think of it like using a back massager after a long day, or investing in orthopedic shoes to move comfortably. These aren't crutches, they're smart adaptations. You don't lose your sexuality with age. You simply need to evolve how you engage with it. Exploring new tools isn't about novelty. It's about making pleasure easier, richer, and more accessible, without strain, frustration, or fatigue. You've adapted in every other area of life. Why not here? You might just discover a new chapter of sensation, one built not on youth, but on wisdom, curiosity, and the courage to evolve. At this stage of life, the most powerful shift you can make isn't just in technique, it's in how you think about the experience. For years, self-pleasure might have been just a habit, something automatic, quick, private, even disconnected. But now, it can become something deeper, a moment of stillness, a way to reconnect with your body, a practice of respecting yourself, not just relieving tension. When you move from habit to intention, everything changes. You begin to notice more. You let go of shame. You slow down and start to feel again. Really feel. You're not chasing what once was. You're embracing what is now and honoring it with care. By listening to your body's new rhythms, introducing variety, engaging more of your senses, and using tools that support you, you're building a new relationship with yourself. One built not on performance, but on presence, not on secrecy, but on self-trust. This is no longer about being who you were at 30. It's about becoming fully alive at 60, 70, and beyond. Because when you meet yourself with compassion and curiosity, you unlock something more lasting than pleasure. You unlock peace. There's a quiet freedom in learning how to care for yourself again, not as a younger man trying to reclaim what was, but as a wiser one, finally discovering what's possible now. We've talked through 7 common mistakes older men make around self-pleasure. Believing myths like semen retention, repeating the same technique for decades, rushing through the experience, ignoring the rest of your body, skipping lubrication, carrying shame, avoiding tools that could support and elevate your experience. But this isn't a list of what you've done wrong. It's a path to something better. You are not past your prime. You are entering a new one, where intimacy means listening, slowing down, and showing up fully for yourself. Self-pleasure at this stage is no longer about urgency or secrecy. It's about dignity, comfort, and emotional honesty. Because what you deserve isn't just release, you deserve reconnection with your body, with your breath, with a sense of confidence that's grown through time, not lost to it. So if there's one thing I hope you take from this, it's this. You're not too old to enjoy your body. You're just now learning how to honor it. And that might be the most powerful part of your journey yet.